it's too late now. I remember you and me, and how careless we could be.
All day and all night, we'd stay up, it felt so right. We were so young, we were so dumb. We would get drunk and then hook up. We were okay, we were alright, staying awake till the sunrise. We were in love, couldn't stop us, like a good drug, never enough. We'd hook up in my car, driving so far, play your guitar, you'd show.
So hi, hello everyone. Welcome to the new chess video after a very long time. And today we are going to learn about a setup from the black side. Many of the players get confused about the playing style from the black side. So today we are going to learn how we can dominate the white with the black pieces using the setup. The setup name is King's Indian Defense, which is the most popular opening. And also many of the grandmasters like Hikaru Nakamura play this opening, which is his favorite opening. So let's dive into it. Okay, so as you can see here, here we are playing as black, so I'll just flip the board. And you can see like many of the times, as we know, the principles are to control the center, to develop the minor pieces and to start attack on the king side. But many of the times what happens, the players are negligible while controlling the center. Like just I'll give you the example. Like after some moves, like the white side is attacking side and the black side, whenever you're playing as a black, it's kind of defensive side. Like he's attacking and you have to defend it, and whoever dominates the king first will win the game. So here basically there are many openings like the Karokan, which is my personal favorite opening, the King's Indian setup, or we just learned about the black Manchurian gambit and etc. So here today we are going to learn about it. So whenever he starts the game with e4, or let's go for the d4, there are many variations. Like you don't know what white is going to play, like you just need to be prepared. And this is the opening which is comfortable with each and every variation. Like even though if he play d4, even he tries to play Sicilian, even he tries to play the King's Gambit or anything, you can just dominate him within few moves. After d4, let's check the variations of first d4. Let's go like he will be going the queen's pawn opening. So whenever he goes to the d4, we'll simply push our knight front directly developing up the knight to avoid this king's pawn. And after, let's assume he plays the knight move, or he just give the control support to the pawn. It's no matter what he does, we'll simply later on, now he pushed his knight out, we'll simply push this pawn, then he develops his another knight. We go with the bishop to g7, correcting the sniper. We should set the sniper. The bishops are the well-known sniper when they are in the corner. And after this, he will develop his bishops. Now, as you can see, both the players are trying to develop their minor pieces. But the thing is, whoever tries to control and gain over the center will try to dominate it on the castle side. Like the castle is the most important, as we can see. Now, he just played this move, the bishop to f4. And what he's trying to do is, now he can push the pawn. To stop the pawn, we can go for the d6 move to avoid coming e5 move. Now why this move? Because we are ready to get out our bishop, we are ready to get out our knight and start the pawn rolling also. So here you can see, after he will move the queen, let's assume he moves his queen. And let's say he can bring out his bishop like this. This is known as the fencing out the bishop, which is the most popular. You may have seen it in a Sicilian defense. And whichever you want opening, like you want to learn any specific opening, you just comment down below that I want a particular opening. I'll make a video on it. And as you can see, he pushed his queen to castle on the long side. So here we are going to castle on the short side. No matter how he is attacking, but here we are having the strong defense. which is the pawns is protected by the two pieces, also the bishop and the knight also. Now you can see you can free up the bishop here, and later on you can simply go for the further development. Now he castled on the long side. After castling on the long side, you may think that he is having the powerful battery and still my minor pieces are not developed. No worries, you are having the good central safety of the king, and also you are not that much familiar with any attacker or the threats right now. So you can simply go for the pawn rolling. Now also many of the players call it as the pawn strong. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so many of the players call it as pawn strong or pawn rolling, and this helps in opening up or exposing the king side. Now as you can see, now he just castle. We can simply push our bishop here, controlling this beautiful diagonal, and after whatever he will move his queen anywhere, like suppose let's assume he moves attacking this side. Now we will gift him up. Now there are two variations by removing the knight. You can bring knight to the c6 or you can bring knight to the d7. The knight to c6 is an aggressive line which can be a little bit difficult if you are a beginner or intermediate player. Why this is not the thing? Because after this we are going to launch the knight into the center, and when the knight is in the center, it don't remain the knight as many times. It becomes an octopus. You can control over the 8 squares. So going up directly to the c6 square, it seems a little bit difficulty for us. So we will simply drive it here. Knight to d7, gifting up him a free pawn. He gets greedy and as usual he captures it. We will simply bring our bishop, bring our rook here to get this open dominating file. Now as you can see, he has many options. He can take the pawn, he can go backwards, anything. Now let's see, like very simple move, like we can go, he will capture the second pawn, and now it's time to launch our perfectly fine blended attack. We can push this pawn to c5, offering him one more pawn. If he pushes it, we will simply go for the knight on g4, and we can simply trade off the minor pieces. Now what happens here? Here we are destroying his pawn structure, and eventually this is the bad thing for him. Now this also seems a little bit devastating, because after this pawn takes, we have the knight takes, and there is the queen also attacking here. So many of the players will get uncomfortable here, but don't worry, your king is totally fine and safe. You just need to push the pawns on the opposition side. Okay, now this we are having this variation of the we can say the long castle, and we are not aware about the short castle. And here he has started the game with the d4. Now still his bishop is not developed. Now he will capture the pawn. We will recapture it with a knight. Now as you can see here, we are trying to expose with our best. We are giving our best. Now he can simply win the piece like this. So this is not that powerful move, but it's okay. Now we are just looking for the ideas of how to open up the game. Now let's assume he will play this, attacking this. Now here comes the twist. Now which piece we will capture? We will capture with the knight, offering him a knight trade. He will accept it. Now you can go with this knight, also with the bishop. We will just go for with this knight because it is under the threat. Now you can see you are having the best swords, best snipers here. The two bishops are very beautifully sitting on this diagonal and attacking towards the king side. Now he is kind of feeling helpless. Now he will just attack our bishop, attack our knight. No matter, you can give a fork here, and even though if you don't attack here, just you do one thing, and you have to go for this attack. After let's suppose he play the knight to g5. Now we can simply trade off, because you can see we are having the best, and also he is unable to dominate the center because there is no pawns in the center, and we are having this d6 pawn, which is lightly powerful. And let's suppose let's go directly back to the point. Let's suppose he will go with the bishop to here. Okay, attack. Now what is the correct move for you? You can go with the 4, no problem. And also the best move I can suggest you is this. Check. Now he is unable to move. He moves the only one square. Now can you find the good tactics? Just pause the video and just comment down. And here this is a beautiful technique. We can call it as discover check and discover attack. The queen. Now he will move his king, as we can say here, or let's see if he goes in the corner. We can simply trade off, we can capture the queen, and simply there is no, now after the knight here there is unstoppable threats coming up. You can bring out the bishop, you can go for the knights, you can, it's just very simple. You can bring the queen to the b6, which is the most strongest. Now let's see like if he plays the defensive move. Now it's his move, and we will simply go with the knights going to the knight going here. Knight on h4, attacking this bishop. Now this bishop is unable to move, so we will simply we can go and trade off this. But here, ignoring this all the threats, we are going simply directly to the queen to b6. Queen b6, and he will simply, he have the 2 options. Either he can block with the rook, which is the checkmating threat, and later on again this is a checkmate, queen d4 after rook here, and then we can simply capture. Okay, and the one more thing we can do here is after this we are just literally giving him an exchange to open file. So just ignore, let's say he plays this move. Again the same variation comes up in the game. We can go, okay, now you can't go here because of the rook, my bad, sorry. And now we can go simply, we can go here, we can bring our bishop to give the check. These are the variations. Or you can simply give a threat. After threat he will move his rook anywhere he want, or you can simply go here. This is the best move I think. And let's suppose he goes with the activation of this another rook, again giving the check. If he comes here, we can simply give the knight check and gobble up the rook as well. And if he don't try to give the check, and let's suppose if he captures this rook, we can capture it. He comes up here, we give a check with a knight, and again if he goes here we have the disco. And if he goes here, we can simply give a beautiful capture and a check like this. Now let's suppose, now this is a continuation. Now you can continue the game as you want. Like once you are piece up and once you are up, you can simply trade off the, you can go for the bad exchange also, no problem. Like this you can go, you can trade off the pieces. And once you are up in the exchange, and once you can attract the king towards the front ways, and you can deliver a checkmate in few rounds, no problem here. And you can see we have we should save the knight, or we can give the check here, and after he captures the knight we can simply go for this checks, like capturing the check, and you can simply cobble up this knight also. Now let's suppose he is attacking our rook. We can simply give the check, captures. Now here comes this check, and this is a mate, I guess. Yes, this is a mate. So this is the thing we should do. Like this is known as the attraction. You should try to give the pieces and try to attract the king and bring it to the front ways, and you can give a checkmate. Or you can give the attraction towards the corner also. You can place the bishop to the a1 square, or you can go with the bishop to h1 square, and you are basically attracting the king to give the checkmate. Now this was the variation of the king's Indian setup after d6. What if you play e6? Many of the players are there, like you can see whenever you visit any classical tournament, there are number of the players who are playing the e4 move, e4 e5, like okay. So this is the classic game, we can say e4 e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5. This is the classic games, and I don't think so it is more reliable or more complex to you to play the king's Indian. After this move, we are going to switch the King's Indian to the Pirc Defense. Also, many of the players call it as Pirc Defense, P-I-R-C. Now it's up to you how you pronounce it. You can call it Pirc, you can call it Pair, you can anything you want. Okay, so after e4 move, you can simply go for the d6. Now you might be thinking, why d6? Because we are going to stick for the King's Indian plan, same plan. After this, now if we get directly knight f6, he will push the pawn and simply attack this. So here we are going to push the d6 pawn first to avoid upcoming e5. Now no matter what he plays, we are simply going for our King's Indian setup. Bishop to c4. Okay, it's very simple, no problem, and it's thumbs up from my side. Like the castle here. Now let's suppose we are going to look like what if he castles on the same side. Now here there are two variations. You can fetch out the bishop, which is the light square bishop, or you can simply try to sustain, try to make a passive move. Once you are exchange up or once you gain any of the piece, you can simply push and go and destroy your opponent. Now here after castling, we can simply bring our knight as we studied. We can bring our knight here, and if not, yes, now if we push this pawn, he will simply probably come here, and after we are not going for the exchange of the pieces. Like many of the openings promote the exchanges, but here we are not going for any exchanges. After this, let's suppose he plays this move, knight. Now he is having number of options, like anything he can do. Now after this, you can go for this center. Okay, so no problem about the center. Okay, and now you are having this knight also, and you are having the perfect. Now this opening is specified for the players who are a little bit passive and gets a very long, like if you are going for the classical tournaments, if you are planning for to gain the rating of the classical tournaments, this opening is legit for you. This is the one of my favorite opening, and you can say this is the more practical opening. Like you can think like a grandmaster here, because you are upcoming grandmaster. No worries. If you follow me, you will be probably a grandmaster. So fine. Here after this, you can simply fetch out this bishop, and after this we can develop our knight towards the king's side. Here there are no more traps. Like I will not suggest you to go for any traps or any gambits in this position, because many of the time you go for the learned lines, like he will simply redirect his bishop. Let's go. Okay, you can push this. You will simply try to bring it up. Now your duty is to protect this pawns, because once your opponent is trying to exchange the pieces, your opponent is trying to trade off your pieces, but you are less the pawns. It's none of you. So it's your duty to protect your pawns as well. Once you are castled on the king's side, it's your duty, it's your priority to keep the attention towards the queen side, to protect the pawns properly. Now as you can see, this is the chain, but after on you can push this, you can push this, and we can simply launch the attack from this side also. Like you have seen many of the, if you are familiar with the Tarash opening, Tarash games, so you might be thinking like how it can go. It can switch towards the attack from another side towards the king side. So this is the beauty of the chess. There is unpredictable game. You cannot predict your opponent's moves. Yes, you can, but you are not perfect that much, and one blunder can cause you many disadvantages. Here you can see, you might be thinking this is a very congested opening, but listen, first focus on the tactical part, and if you are trying this, if you are backtesting this is the perfect blended opening for you. Okay, so simply I will just show you directly moves. You can go here, you can push this, takes, open the bar, and then we can go here, we can push this pawn. So if you are not getting any moves, just simply keep pushing pawns, nothing else. Okay, so this was the King's Indian setup. I hope you liked the video, and thanks for watching. And currently I am having the 138 subscriber. The subscriber goal after this video will be 150. Just try to do it, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day and keep grinding. See you on the other side.